Our next talk will explore how technology is shifting the way businesses operate and deliver outcomes for their customers. Tech companies today need to think differently about how they serve customers and provide value. So to take a look at some of the emerging trends and share examples of industry and business transformation in today's technology landscape, please welcome Senior Vice President of Products and Solutions with Rogers Communications, Charlie Wade.
Good afternoon. Oh, I didn't hear you. Good afternoon. Yeah. Thank you for the beanbags. It's a delight to be here, and apparently, according to my next presenter, the guy who's going to finish up the event today, I'm going to break every rule of keeping your attention. So for those rule breakers out there, hopefully I'll keep your attention. My name's Charlie Wade. As I was introduced there, I look after products and solutions at Rogers, and over the last 24 months or so, we've been building a set of products and solutions to cater for Canadian businesses of all sizes. And I thought in the short time that we've got together today, I would talk about some of the trends that we're seeing in the marketplace and hoping that some of these will resonate with you and give you some food for thought. You know, the market is transforming incredibly well, incredibly fast. The three trends that we're seeing are a real mashing together of these three things that are happening. First thing that we're seeing is mobile and IT are colliding an incredible force. If you thought about 5 years ago, I don't know if anybody knows here about a conference in Europe called Mobile World Congress. It's the biggest kind of coming together of the mobile guys. 110,000 people turn up to this thing. And 5 years ago, we basically had just the mobile guys there. Handset vendors, network guys, and so on and so forth. This year, you had every software vendor out there at this show. The Googles, the Amazons, the Salesforces, startups, and all the rest of it. We're seeing tremendous shift towards folks actually consuming almost everything on their mobiles. 80% of Canadians are now considered a mobile worker. 82% of websites are hit using a mobile browser. And so we're seeing this tremendous clashing of IT and mobile. It's giving us great ability to be able to go and generate value. The second thing we're seeing is this whole reconstructing of business processes. Now, some people call this Internet of Things, but if you think about Internet of Things, it's really around how the heck do I make business processes better? How do I deconstruct them, and how do I use technology to save cost, get better customer experience, make more revenue, get more data, and so on and so forth. And this is really around companies now becoming much more embedded in terms of what businesses actually do, which leads to the first trend on the slide behind me, which is really around the biggest thing we're seeing is that customers are now demanding not to be sold components or hardware or technology, but they're asked to be sold outcomes. Customers are actually asking for you to go out there and help solve problems. And not only help solve problems, but actually be aligned with their business results as well. So let's dive into that a little bit more. First of all, you can see from this particular set of slides, which apparently is the second rule breaker of mine, of our next presenter. This is a survey done by IDC, 1,124 CIOs across Canada. You can see on the chart on the left-hand side that their spend is shifting towards solutions as opposed to components. The second thing you see here on the right-hand side is that whilst price is always going to be number one in terms of their decision criteria, price is always king, the most important things are now becoming a bubbling up in terms of service quality. How can I make sure I get a reliable product? How can I make sure that actually I'm fixing the issue you're going to be giving me? And you'll see innovation and vertical expertise being really, really top of mind. Vertical expertise, understanding their business. So the issue is that actually the customers don't wake up every day thinking how they're going to get products sold to them. They're thinking about how they're going to solve their own problems, how they're going to solve their outcomes. And that's really important because guess what? The whole tech industry has been built up in selling components. So how do we go and address this? Well, we've been working with a company called the Technology Services Industry Association, TSIA, And there's a couple of folks there called J.B. Wood and Thomas Lahr, who have created a number of books that you might be familiar with. If you haven't, I suggest you go read them. There's kind of consumption economics, there's B for B, and their latest book is Technology as a Service. And I'm not on commission, by the way. But what these really tell you is that customers' demands are changing dramatically. Now, you see on the slide behind you this bridge diagram. And effectively, what you see on the left-hand side, is product-focused organizations. And on the right-hand side is where customers sit, outcome-based. They are looking for outcomes to be solved. How do I increase revenue? How do I retain customers? How do I make sure that my service costs reduce? How do I cross-sell products and so on and so forth? How do I make sure kids get better grades at school? How do I make sure that patients are treated faster in a hospital and so on and so forth? And yet, the whole of the industry is shifted towards the left of this diagram in product-focused. Now, that's not a bad thing. We've basically built trillion-dollar businesses out of being product-focused. It's just with what's happening in the marketplace in terms of the digital evolution, what's happening with Internet of Things, what's happening with software as a service, that whole dynamic is shifting to the right here. Now, what they've done here is they've basically mapped out 4 different stages. And it's not to say that one stage is better than the other. Because guess what? In stage 1, in a level 1 supplier in their diagram here, there are some phenomenal companies out there. Apple probably is the best level 1 supplier on the planet. They create phenomenal products. They really think about the user. They make it simple. They create great products that a lot of people buy. But that's what they do. They create great products. And that's all they do. They ship those, they build those, they design those products, they innovate on those products, they design those products, they build those products, and they ship those products. What you use it for and the business outcome is not their regard. They're moving there, but it's not what their focus is and how they've been successful. And that's not to say it's a bad thing. It's a really good thing in that particular case. We're seeing a lot of IT companies such as the Ciscos, the HPEs, the SAPs, the GEs, and so on and so forth, shifting to what they call a level 2. So they're now augmenting their product sales, or great product sales, with services. So now I can install the product for you. I can maintain the product. I can make sure that the product is updated and upgraded on a monthly basis, and so on and so forth. But you can see there's still a chasm. There's still a chasm between that level 2 supplier providing services and an outcome. We're still not delivering a business outcome. We're not aligned with that customer's requirements. So just building forward, the next stage is basically you then add additional services where you actually move the company and the products to a consumption-based. You actually say, I'm going to sell my products not on an upfront cost. I'm not going to do one transaction with you. I'm going to go and sell this on a recurring basis. And I'm going to be involved in your business, and I'm going to understand your business. I'm going to understand your users, and I'm going to ensure that they get adoption. So think of Salesforce.com. So Salesforce will sell you a set of products and solutions. The adoption is what drives their business model. And so they've designed their sales teams and their success teams around a driving adoption and understanding fundamentally how your business is running. But again, there's still a gap. And so the last stage, or this level 4 supplier, which customers are now becoming more and more demanding of, really looks at how they align their financial goals with that of the customer. So if we were installing or creating a software solution that was going to improve a KPI in a customer, be that better grades for kids, be that better, faster patient care and all the rest of it, we'd align the KPI, or the financial performance with that of the customer. So the customer's looking for 12% improvement, and it's worth a value. It's worth a monetary value to them. And that's what they work the business case out to be. We're now aligning, as a supplier, that KPI. If we meet the KPI, we get paid. If we don't get paid. What's happening is that customers are more and more demanding that we, in the technology industry, get aligned with their KPIs, not ours. So it's driving consumption, it's driving adoption, and it's making sure that we're absolutely joined at the hip in terms of the way that we design and deliver those products and solutions. It's a huge shift, but it's happening because of these other mega trends that are happening. Now, quickly, if we beam down into BC, I think BC is going to be where we're going to see a huge take-up in this type of thinking. And the reason I think that is because if you see from the slides here, there's a significant number of small businesses here. So 98% of companies out there have less than 50 employees, 79% have less than 5. Companies with fewer employees are focused on outcomes and solutions. They're not focused on IT. They're not focused on technology. So selling them technology is not going to help them drive their business. And so we see that they need the help, they need the alignment and the skills from you guys out there to start to think about how you work with them and understanding how you solve their business problems. So I wanted to leave you with one example of a company here in BC that's a small business that we've been working with. We've been trying to develop our products and solutions at Rogers to meet these goals of trying to meet outcomes for customers. Are we at level 4 yet? We've still got some way to go, but we're certainly thinking that that is the outcome we need to get to. So I'm going to show you a small video of Max here. Max runs Endeavour Snowboards. Max's outcome he wanted is he wanted to be more mobile. He wanted to be able to go and connect with his customers. He only's got 6 people in his organization. And he doesn't want to think about IT, and he doesn't want to think about running systems, and he doesn't want to think about joining lots of people together and systems and all the rest of it. And so we worked with him on building a solution for him that helped him get closer to his customers and helped him actually do what he does best, which, when you see from the video, is make awesome snowboards. So I'm going to cue Max.
I was a pro snowboarder. It was my passion. What better industry to get involved in than snowboarding, the one I love. My name is Max Janke, co-founder of Endeavour Design. We sell snowboarding products to athletes all over the world. So we have customers throughout North America, over 650, and we only have 6 people here running the business, communicating with them. And now we picked up a shoe brand last year. We're away from the office a lot of the time, seeing customers, suppliers, and we were missing calls. When we discovered Rogers Unison, we were able to ditch the desk phone and the costs that went along with it and really use our mobile devices as our main form of communication. The great thing about Unison is that you won't miss a call. So if a customer calls, we get the professional menu by name, and Chris doesn't answer it because he's busy. It'll go to Katie. If she's also busy, it'll go to Rob. If he's busy down in the CNC machine, it'll go to voicemail. If a call goes to voicemail, a voicemail gets digitized, it either gets emailed or it gets displayed on our phone. So because of Unison, we're always connected to our customers. One of the other benefits of actually working in a company versus being a pro snowboarder is less injuries. I haven't broken any bones around here lately.
Well, hopefully you saw that Max's business is basically a really cool business. We're really trying to think about his outcome, and I hope that as you're thinking about your business and your startups and your technologies out there, that some of the stuff that we've talked about here in terms of those transitions and happening, keeping the customer in mind, keeping about their outcomes is the key takeaway. With that, I wanted to thank you for your time, and hopefully my next guest will critique everything we've done before and figure out whether we've done a good job. Thank you, everybody. Thank you.